All right, come on.
And we are live. Wednesday night with those guys, and Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by those guys. So what's good, dear Lawrence? How you been?
I'm good, man. How are you on this great St. Patrick's Day? I hope everyone's doing well. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of the Irish who celebrate this holiday.
It's St. Patrick's Day.
Cool Bick. What's good? How are you, Cool Bick? I see a lot of people are going to be coming through. There were a few people that are coming from NYC5 boroughs to watch Deneen be interviewed tonight. And then I know there's a few people that came by to watch Lostgirl, Spikes, be interviewed tonight. So we'll see how it turns out. What's up, Johnny Drone, Welsh Rob, Cool Bick, Captures Life Connection. Yes, we are live. Matt Kundiff, Matt C says the Amazon truck is 2 stops away with his Mavic Mini. So he ain't paying attention to the live stream right now. He's watching that map and wishing he could go meet up with the truck to get his bird. But congratulations, Matt. I don't know if that's your first DJI bird or not, but congratulations anyway. What's up, Classic? Classic. How are you? Eddie Nunez, what's good? What's going on, Herman?
So like I said, I was telling you before the show, we have a really big show planned tonight. So the things here, we talked last week. We mentioned women to watch in UAS and some of the things that were going on. An award show that was taking place, and it was in their 5th annual award show. But we have 2 women in UAS tonight that has got some work that you guys need to see.
Yeah. We ended on Sunday's live stream pretty much talking about women, and there was a story done on women's, and I think that was on Wednesday.
Yes, we covered the story on Wednesday.
Right.
And we mentioned we were going to have 2 women on, someone on this week, but we happen to have 2 women on tonight.
Yes. 2 women that are in drones, and it's very rare that here in New York, it's not so much because it's so big and there are a lot of people flying drones, but outside of New York, I see it's very, very random. You find female drone pilots, but they are out there in the thousands. I just don't know any.
Yeah, there's plenty of them out there. Like I said to you before, they're there.
Yes, and Rob says Angela is rock solid. Robert C, what's good?
We happen to have one from Texas and one from
New York City.
New York City,
who flies and has flown with everyone everyone in those guys.
Yep.
AZ drone dude. I can't talk tonight. The hell, I haven't started drinking yet. I don't know. AZ drone dude. You know what it is when you're thinking about something and you're saying something else. It's
welcome, Tom.
What's up, Tom?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. And this is nothing new, Lawrence. I mean, the tongue is twisted usually early on in the evening. You start doing a couple of shots and drops, I bet you that loosens up.
It'll straighten out, right? Well, since it's St. Patty's Day, we'll probably do a few drops and a shot.
And got a green coffee mug today.
Okay, fair enough. A lot of females are more into FPV. That's true, Welsh Rob. I was mentioning that on a live stream that I know there's a lot more female FPV pilots, but they tend to be of the younger group. Now, Pretty with Pax, she looks like she's about her mid-20s, early 30s. But mostly all the females I know in FPV are kind of young. 30s is young too, but.
Hey, Eddie, by the way, it's not 90 degrees out here, okay? And I have central air anyway, so yes, I'm wearing my fleece.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like, he's still over in the West Coast, but
hey, it's about 60 right now, about 65 outside.
Dude, I fly.
But at night it's dropping down in the 40s. So, hey, what's up? How are you, bro?
Well, Lawrence, you have a lot of women that are out there that work from the aspect of the photography world,
Yeah.
And you have even with that company MatterNet, women that are working for MatterNet, so
Hmm. This is true.
you know, it's a tough one. The women that you may have the exposure to in UAS may fly.
Very valid point, Eddie. You see what he put? It's nice to have two females on today, considering this is Women's Leadership Empowering Month.
Well, yes, that was the reason why this was being done.
Yes.
And if there was any more women out there that I can get,
We get
to
interested.
bring them on to the program, then I will find them and I will highlight them. But
Actually,
help you
enrollment in one thing I was looking up
What,
was
5
enrollment in engineering schools
Mhm.
is now predominantly female. So the more we can do, and being a father of a daughter and a father and a grandfather of two granddaughters,
Exactly.
the more open arenas we can provide.
That's
I mean,
school
seeing
period.
some of the work from the two women that we're going to spotlight this evening goes to show that they have considerable talent and considerable contribution here. So looking forward to tonight's discussion on that.
ASK, how are you? Yeah, I'm interested because I don't know Angela's techniques and stuff, but I have flown with Deneen, and I know she's the kind that'll come. She's a great person. She'll come to the meetup, and then everybody will be flying, and you say, wait a minute, where's Deneen? And she's like over in the cut somewhere. You're flying comfortably.
Yeah, we'll cover some of that later
Yeah.
on when we talk to her, and
Yeah.
what the thought process is from Angela, with how she approaches.
That's true. My on high, she's a decent drone pilot as well. I didn't even think about that, Herman.
What?
My on high, she's a drone pilot. She does a lot of camera drone stuff. I know she doesn't do any FPV stuff for sure.
Well, see, when I asked you about pilots, you told me humana.
Well, someone just put her name in the room. That's why I.
There's a ton of great
Rob.
pilots, unmanned aerial pilots, you name it, they're out there.
Well, you know what, Lawrence,
I actually follow a 747 captain, female captain online that does a vlog regularly.
Okay.
About flying the big boys. So, but yeah, so we got some other stories we're covering tonight. We got a few other things happening also.
Well, Tom, did you hear this? Now Elon Musk has a new title over at Tesla. He's called the Techno King.
The Techno King.
Yeah, the Techno
Well, you know
King.
what? With that bank account, he can call himself whatever he wants, Herman.
Well,
okay?
Let's be real. Funny here. Because in an announcement they had on on Monday, they had announced there was to the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission on Monday. It was an announcement. They also had said that along with his chief financial officer, what's his name, Zach Kirkhorn. Yeah, he's now supposedly known as the master of coin.
Well, it seems like they're having a really good time. Over there,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A really good time at Tesla. Absolutely. Yes, Eddie, Pilot Emily.
Yeah, they're making a killing over there, and they're having a good time doing it.
So Robert said the problem that he's facing right now, mentioned in the chat, is getting dizzy with the goggles. So here's my recommendation: lawn chair, beach chair, tailgate, park bench, sit down because it helps to stabilize vertigo. Not only that, the mind needs a little bit of training. A lot of people get dizzy or unsettled when first using VR goggles, right? And that's exactly what these is. This is virtual reality. So you're putting those on and your inner ear doesn't adjust because it's not feeling the movement. It's seeing the movement. Now the brain has a slight disconnect there. Okay, you can't put the two together. But over time, it learns. So just give it a little bit of time. You'll go from sitting in the lawn chair to standing, okay, to moving about with no difficulty, because the mind will learn how to connect the two, and it will assimilate. And actually,
it's
it'll
called muscle memory.
it'll virtualize the inner ear. Okay, it's circuitry up there. That's what it is. So it basically, your inner ear, you know, if you were really flying, you feel the motion. There's gravity exerting force on you. Okay,
Yeah,
there's inertia, just like inside your drone. Okay, the IMU, right? You have an inertia management device in there. You have an accelerometer, a gyro. You got the same thing sitting right here on both sides. So what happens is your eyes, right? Your eyes are seeing it happening, but this signal's not getting anywhere, and it's going, it's crisscrossing. And that's where you start to get unsettled. You could get a little nauseous also.
Well,
okay,
the trick also,
from motion sickness. So
most
sit,
crucial, you fail to mention you have to breathe. A lot of people
that's, you know what, that's a fundamental that warrants, I'm sorry if we're starting to tell people that now, okay? I'm wondering how they got through the rest of life, okay? I'm just saying now. Okay.
No, I totally understand, but
it's the same thing. It's the same thing with firing a weapon. It's the same thing with hitting a baseball. It's the same thing with taking a slap shot. There's a right time to take a breath,
you're speaking from experience,
but you always have to take one. No, actually, guys, I was a Navy corpsman, so.
El Smeghead, thanks for stopping in, man. We appreciate you.
So on board ship, before they even pulled in the lines, all the new sailors were already heaving over the side. So, you know, I had a good amount of experience as a Navy corpsman dealing with that. But yeah, vertigo is it's real, man. It's real. You just have to like train your mind to deal with it.
It is. It's like learning when you learn how to play golf, that I taught myself how to play, and they tell you have to keep your arms perfectly straight. Well, from playing baseball, out of muscle memory, when you're swinging, your arms tend to bend. So as a trick, what they would do is they would tell you to put a towel under your arm.
Yeah, to hold the towel up.
Right. If you can hold the towel under your arm and swing, if you bend your arm, it's going to fall from under your arm. You get it? So I learned to swing by putting a towel under my arm and swinging that way. It is all muscle memory. It's not hard.
You're developing. It's training. It's like anything else. It's everything else you're doing here. It's part of the training.
But so you'd be surprised how a person would forget. We talk about breathing, forget to breathe in certain situations.
Yes, Tom, I've had people.
Surprised how a person will forget that one technique somewhat can carry over into the other. And I have that problem teaching that with people, and I coach this all the time with people. Technique, that same technique carries over to this. And how is it that you get it right here, but you don't get it right there?
When you pull, if you've ever handled the firearm, when you pull the trigger, okay, when you press, I'll give you a good one for tonight. When you press the shutter, okay, you know, when do you breathe? These are techniques you have to learn.
It's true. A sniper even holds his breath as he's pulling the trigger on a shot. It helps steady the heartbeat, and it has to do with your heartbeat and all of that. Yeah, I get it. I do get that.
It's a little different in the drone than it is with the with a camera.
With FPV.
No,
so the other thing you have to do also is you have to start to, you know, flying the drone out of the box is difficult. Okay, I know these things are ready to go. I know they're ready to fly. Okay, but the problem that you run into is you you got to learn how to manipulate the settings in the aircraft too. So, you know, Eddie's goofing on me because I'm talking about settings, and he's going, well, there you go. You turn it into an FPV pilot. Okay. No, I've always adjusted the settings. You know, you got to
Even
adjust
with the camera
expo,
drone, I
the
tweaked
main,
my
the
camera drone.
gain,
I
right?
did it with my Phantom 4 Pro.
The
I did it with my
sensitivity,
Mavic.
right? So if you're finding those sticks to be a little too jittery, is because they are too damn jittery out of the box.
Loose.
So you have to adjust your sensitivity, and then you got to smooth that out also. You know,
Yes.
right now you got to not, I don't want to call it a curve, but in curves, if you're familiar with Photoshop or Lightroom, or even adjusting the settings on your camera drones, you'll notice there's a curve,
Yes. Yes.
but it's
it
a
is.
straight line from lower corner to upper corner, right?
Mhm.
And the problem with that is any movement is immediate. What you want to do is you want to get a little bit of an S to that curve, okay?
Tom, your picture's
And
frozen. You're still
exponentially
here and see.
gaining, okay? So the
Time's frozen a little bit there.
Tom froze up, but I'm guessing he'll pop back in. Something weird's happening there. But as Tom was saying, Rob C.
Oh.
To be honest, I tell this to people that I taught a lot of
I'm
people
back.
how to fly drones. And Deneen coming on, I did not tell her how to fly a drone, but I told her, I gave her some tips on what to do. I remember the first, she'll speak on it tonight, but her first drone was a Breeze, a Dobby Breeze, I believe it's called. And we'll get
save
into
it.
it. We'll get
Save
into
it
it
for
when she
tonight.
comes
Save
in.
it for tonight. Yeah.
Mark, you
Yeah.
want us to interview you, or you want us?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do
We're gonna interview Lawrence about Deneen.
Hold on.
So
No, but yeah, that you were telling him about the
Yeah.
settings and
yeah, smooth out the settings a little. But you know what? What you should do is definitely log some time in the simulator. Okay. What's good about the simulator is what Lawrence was saying about muscle memory. What you're doing with the simulator is you are gaining muscle memory, okay, in the simulator. And that helps when you
I'll be back.
transition.
I have to run back to the stove, man.
You got to go over to normal mode. Normal mode is going to be no different, except not as smooth as your camera drones. And the reason for that is because you don't have a 3-axis gimbal. So you'll notice that right away. And then progress through the various roles in sports mode. You'll have a blast with that. All of this is doing is building your confidence and building your muscle memory and getting you to understand the capabilities of that aircraft you're flying. So, but over time, I mean, I think if you're working through the simulator and you do a little bit of actual normal and sports mode flying, the vertical will probably disappear by the time you get through a couple of flights. Okay, a couple of days of flights, you'll be fine.
you know,
Again, sitting down makes all the difference, guys.
yeah,
If you're standing, remember your balance.
just start turning.
Okay, your brain is working on overtime to maintain your balance, and because you might adjust your center of gravity because you're reacting to the drone. Okay, it's a lot to work on, and that's when the mind just gets all crisscrossed. Sit down, give it a break,
Flying camera drone.
Yeah, a lot different, right? A lot different.
Camera drone you want to turn to.
Hey, Angie.
Drone is this, you might not want to move around so much.
Yeah, you know what? One of the things, right, with a camera drone, if you suffer from car sickness, one of the things that you should do, of course, is look at the horizon line, right? Okay. What you're doing with a camera drone is you're always flying in level flight, basically, because you have a 3-axis stabilized gimbal, so you're always looking at a straight horizon. Well, in FPV, man, you're all over the place, right? And that's what becomes very unsettling.
Right.
Okay. The ground is not moving this way, but your brain thinks it is. And with a camera drone, you're maintaining level flight at all times.
True.
No matter what you're photographing. So the brain goes, well, the ground's not heaving. So it's one less thing to have to worry
That's the
about.
same
And
as
that's why it doesn't
getting
affect you the same way.
motion sickness in the car. And I used to
Look
find
at
out
horizon.
what it is.
Look
Your
at the
brain
horizon.
is saying that you're moving.
Yeah.
But your body is telling your brain that I'm not moving. And sometimes for the body to sync up with the brain, it makes you.
And the reason why,
yeah.
So the reason why people say I have to sit up front if I have motion sickness is because they want to look straight out the windshield.
You see what
So when you're
Eddie
sitting in the
put?
back seat,
Exactly.
you look out to the side. What you should do is lean over slightly and look straight out the windshield. And that will help with motion
You
sickness
see
in the
what
car.
Eddie did? The smart way he did. He started out sitting down and slowly was able to
Yeah, absolutely.
to stand up. And I've always stood. I'm just now learning to sit and fly because I'm used to standing.
Well, we
up.
know you're an enigma, dude. Okay. We've already written that off.
If he
Okay.
sits
We know
down, he
you're
might
an
not get up.
enigma.
No, see, my problem with sitting down is you
He
get
might
so
not get
damn
up.
comfortable. Then when you crash, you have to get the blood flowing and you got to get up. You can let,
Hey, Eddie, what I really want to see is somebody like Paul Stallone on a one wheel flying a DJI FPV with goggles. Okay. Now that's what I want to see. That to me is entertainment.
You know what? I don't, Tom. It's funny. This drone, right, was on the shelf for some people. This drone was on the fence for others, teeter-tottering. Whether it's good, oh no, I don't know about that drone. Oh, I like that. I want to get that. Oh, I'm not sure about this. And now look at how it's taken off. A lot of people are getting it. A lot of people are enjoying it.
And changed opinions, right?
Yeah,
I mean, changed opinions. People who came out adamant about it. I mean, but this is human nature too,
Right.
to some degree. Look, if you're a purist, any little drop of oil in the bucket of water, you're like, oh my God, the entire well has now been contaminated.
right.
No, actually, what you're doing is you're getting some people to see that other side, to see the FPV side of the fence. And if there's more people, and now you'll say, oh man, they're going to crowd our spaces. No, think about it this way. If there's more people involved in FPV, that means there's more product to choose from. There's more product being released. There's more innovation in the FPV world. Okay. You look at a company like DJI every time, and we'll segue
Deneen,
into another
what's up?
story.
How are you?
Okay, we'll segue into another story about another drone coming out. But you look at a company like DJI, and it's release after release after release. Okay, because they have the level of interest, and the market is as large as it is. The FPV market. The FPV market will grow exponentially because of this one drone right here. I think this causes an explosion in the FPV world where now
what's up, Roger?
people who are flying this are thirsting, right, Herman? You'll go from this and you'll go, I want more. I want more.
You're right, Tom. It could, but here's what I know about DJI. DJI is like that wild animal. When it gets a hold of you, doesn't want to let you go. It tries to keep you in its system. Doesn't want you to go. They keep putting out something else to keep pulling you back in and pulling you back in.
It's like the tax man.
Just when you get tired of this, they're gonna drop another one. It's gonna be better than this.
He's like the tax man. He's got his hand in your pocket.
Yep.
This is true. Very, very
fanboys and fangirls, strap in, because
we actually have two things here tonight.
Released through the good old FCC database. We now know there's an Air 2S. Now, not Mavic Air 2. So the same thing that happened with the Mini,
called
right?
The DJI Air 2S. Yes.
Okay.
Not Mavic Air 2.
Which we all know really is just another.
Well, another reach into your pocket, yes, but okay, I'll go with a completely I
Different.
want to find the politically right way to put this.
Yeah.
A very a man's way of thinking about things. You're walking down the block with the most gorgeous woman on your arm, and another woman walks by, and you turn your head just to look, right? Well, DJI keeps doing that to you. You're walking down the block with the best drone on the planet, but hey, look at who's coming. Okay. And you pine for what you don't have. I mean, but the thing is you'd get really pissed if what you were going for wasn't any better than what you already had. But a company like DJI, with the pockets as deep as they do have, they never release something you already have. They release something that's better than what you had.
Well,
and I believe that the 2S is going to be going down that same road.
I'm almost there with you, JSK. You think that they're done with the Mavic name, but not necessarily. The only thing that I've been able to find out about this Mavic 2S is that
I
they're
found out a
using
lot.
something called the IMX 686. Now, according to this description here, the Sony, keep in mind, Sony, they make a lot of sensors for people. Sony IMX 686 is a 64 megapixel camera sensor with a resolution, listen closely, of 9,248 by 6,944. So that's basically
What's
a
that?
10 by 7, 10K, a 10K. It could support 10K if they probably
Okay,
did
let me
whatever they
explain
had to.
how these sensors work, though. Okay,
It's one
you're talking
size
about
also.
you're talking about raw physical space on the sensor. Okay, they do not power the raw physical space on the sensor,
right,
because there's a buffer zone. This is a 6K chip, guys. Do you know what that means? You should be able to buy an orange skin up on Decal Girl shortly after it's released, because it's going to be given.
It's going to be given. It's going to give you orange
It's going to be
fever.
given the orange fever a run for its money. So let me give you some insight
I'm
here.
tell you, Lawrence, about that sensor.
Hey,
It's this is an aircraft that so a couple of questions in the room right now are, what about the Mavic 3? What about the Mavic 3? So this is coming out before the Mavic 3. It's going to fill a spot.
Hold on, Ray.
What they think is their product line.
Yeah.
So this is a bird that basically is going to have probably a much better camera, and to the degree that it might supplant, okay, a 2 Pro.
Compose.
So with a 6K sensor and possibly a vastly improved camera, you're talking about something that's going to put a crimp on Evo's style, right? Now, what about the Mavic 3 Pro? What about it? Okay. Well, that's going to be a different animal, because my guess is,
if it doesn't have
completely my opinion,
it's a waste of time.
First off, the Mavic 3, I doubt will keep a 1-inch sensor. Okay. I also doubt that it
Since
will
they can get 6K from a smaller one.
No, I think the opposite is true. They're going to go with a larger sensor, because I'm going to tell you how I see it going. I see the 2S, the Air 2S, being that consumer drone, close to the prosumer side, depending on where they put sensors. Buddy, if they put sensors on top, then this becomes a prosumer drone. Now, here's the other thing. With a longer battery life, with better flight time, better flight dynamics, this supplants that prosumer line. And the Pro 3, is no longer within that $1,000 to $2,000 range anymore. I believe it's going to be a $3,000 camera drone.
So you think it's going to fall right in line with what is expected to come from X Dynamics?
Yeah, I truly believe the Mavic 3, which will probably be pushed to the end of the calendar year, will be a $3,000 plus
Okay.
package.
Because that's what I
Okay.
was telling Lawrence about X Dynamics. We still yet to see that come, but we've seen what they say that they're supposed to have. So
I want you to
And
see
remember
something.
when
I want you to notice something in this picture, guys, first of all, and Herman pointed it out to me. Right here where it says Mavic, it's supposed to say Mavic Air 2. If you notice on all the pictures that you've seen, the word Air has been blurred out.
Well, most of it is blurred out.
True, it is, but the point I'm getting at is I just find it strange. Also, the fact that they took one sensor that was here in the front center, and now they have two. If you look closely at these two, those
first
look
off,
more
that's okay. No, you had one sensor on the Mavic 2 Air, on the
right
Mavic
in the
2
front.
Pro in the back, in the back, in the
Oh,
back.
in the back,
Okay,
only had one.
Mavic Pro in the back. Okay, it was one oblong sensor that sat behind the battery.
Here's the
rear
Mavic Air. Here's
leading
the
edge of the
Mavic Air
battery.
2.
Okay,
right
now the
here.
Mavic Air 2, you have two sensors up front. Now go back to that previous image. What you see that they've done here is two in front and two on top with a slight angle
Yeah.
forward.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know what that
give,
means?
Which would give you the ability to see something coming up over you a lot
Well,
better than straight ahead.
Gives you the ability to do inspection work.
So possibly.
Well, remember when I said at the prosumer level, okay? Yeah, we talking about a utility company? We talking about public safety? Maybe. Utility company? No, they'll probably go with the Mavic 3. Okay. Because my feeling is the Mavic 3, if it's not coming with a 4/3, it ain't coming.
Well,
Because
you know what,
I
Tom?
think the
see
Mavic
this.
3 is
I
going to
see-
replace the Inspire, and then you'll have a Matrice
Tom, with
series
the way
above
they
that.
place these sensors on here is to keep them in position of use when the drone is tipped and moving.
True.
Well,
That's true.
again,
When you're
keep
pitched
something
forward,
in mind.
you would the
This
sensors would still be forward.
This is a camera drone.
Yeah,
Okay.
still leans
This
forward.
is a camera drone. I do believe, yes, it does, but I do believe what you're going to see most on this is increased battery life, like you see the sensors, okay, and a significantly better camera. Now, take a look at that picture. Tell me that does not look like a Pro 2, okay, a 2 Pro camera on
this
on
here.
there.
Hold on. Nope, there we go. This right here. That's obvious. It's looks like a Hasselblad, but who can tell?
So wouldn't that mean that's a 1-inch sensor on there? They're not going to go with a 1.7. They're not going to go from a 2.3 to a 1.7
Well,
until they got
Tom,
it better.
keep this in mind, Tom. The sensor, hold on, I didn't click share. That's why you guys can't see it. The sensor, the camera is a 1 1/7. The original one is a 1 1/3. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind also. This
That's
sensor
not a
is
one.
larger.
That's not a 1.7. Okay, wait a second. Now remember, a 2.3 is a much smaller sensor than a 1.7. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is going to be this looks like a 1-inch sensor.
It does.
Okay.
It does look like the Hasselblad.
And that means you're going to get much more sensitivity out of it, as far as you're going to reduce the pixel pollution on it, which should result in much sharper images.
Hey, what's up, Bill?
And now you're talking about it. I mean, it looks to be, hey Ray, it looks to be the same size as the existing Mavic Air, which is a great freaking size.
The bird is the same size, but the camera's bigger.
Same size. The battery's supposed
and the battery's the same, but I think they're going to eke out additional duration on that battery.
Power draw would be if it's the same size battery.
No, because what you have, keep something in mind. That camera is probably going to be physically just a little bit smaller because of miniaturization. Every time, remember what's happening here. Each year, things get a little smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay. Now we're at the 1 year mark, basically, with the Air 2, right? Okay. So I think what they've done is they've made the aircraft much more efficient. And as a result of that, they're going to get better battery life out of it.
Well, Bill Coast to Coast
Power
says
management is
drone-
key here.
that drone was used to test FPV drones, new sensor. My answer to this is they're going to do the same thing they did. If you remember when they tested the Mavic Pro on us, which was 4 years ago, the Mavic Pro was out. Okay. And what they did was they tested a lot of new technology with that Mavic 2. If you remember, they tested the radar system where they could point and show where planes were.
This drone's already out there in people's hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is out there.
Well, I said I was waiting. I was waiting for something.
This is out there. This is out. Why, you think they were going to release it just an FPV drone and not release a camera drone?
So they used the
But
FPV money to make this drone. I said it.
Right. They don't need the FPV money for this.
Yes,
Buddy.
they did, but they used it though. Like I said,
let
they
me explain something. I think
ahead.
what happened here is that they've been, look, Evo, made a big announcement. We're going to have this 1-inch sensor. We're going to have this, that, and the other thing. And what happened? It took a long time to pull that off, right? And DJI, instead of getting into a pissing match, already had a 1-inch sensor drone out there. Yeah, the Evo 2 is a very capable drone. But now you put this little bad boy out there, you got a couple of things going on. First off, like I said earlier, you could skin it in orange and give them a run for their money.
I remember
but this
article.
Thing is so much lighter.
But hold on, Tom.
It's so much lighter than that Evo 2.
Bill sent me a link that I wanted to point out. This picture of that exact drone was the same exact picture that was leaked years back by a Japanese company that's supposed to be in competition with Austin.
The conspiracy theories begin. Guys, don't you get sucked in each and every effing time on this? Tom, the drone is out there. There's an FCC filing.
It's
all
out
bets
there
are off
now.
That's what I said. The drone was coming out behind that FPV. I said one was coming.
Right. Turn the gain down.
But at the time that this picture was leaked, there was no talk of a Mavic Air 2 because the Mavic Air 2 wasn't even out there. The Mavic Air wasn't out there. Well, yes, the Mavic Air 1, the very first one, was out there. Look, check out this link right here. This company, was the Japanese company, was supposed to have leaked this picture a year ago. It's the same exact picture, Tom. So I know it's out there now, but
I don't know. You haven't shown anything on the screen. So
what did they do?
To me, it's still a conspiracy.
Oh no, I put it in the chat. I put the link in the chat.
Oh. Yeah, I saw this.
And
there's an FCC filing.
Right.
The drone's already out there in Influence's hands.
It's being produced now and shipped, ready for shipping.
Well, guess what? It's produced, already sitting on shelves. Because they take the big gamble. They do the FCC filing. They don't put an FCC filing, They don't put an FCC filing out on vapor, And they don't put it out prematurely so their competitors get a jump on them. The FCC filing is,
you gonna get it?
I am done. It's on the shelf.
You gonna get it, Tom?
Ready to go.
You gonna get it, Tom?
Right after you buy my Air 2, I'll pick up the 2.
I have the Air 2. I had the Air 2 when it first came out. I just said,
so what are you going to do,
one.
Dude? What are we going to see? Who can sell ours first? No, look, to me,
I don't sell drones. I just keep them.
To me, the Air 2, the Air 2 is a very capable flyer. I enjoy the heck out of flying it.
Yeah.
It's in the bag with me. It travels nice and light.
It's all right.
Staying in the bag.
Yeah.
And probably one of the grandkids is coming up lucky and getting a mini soon. So, that's how I usually handle it. But,
so Tom,
the thing is that.
Right. That's what I want to know.
No,
This-
I'm usually skip
Uh-huh.
one. I couldn't skip for the FPV.
That's my brother. I skipped the
I couldn't-
FPV.
I
Right.
couldn't. I couldn't skip the FPV.
Gotcha.
Not with my Eddie Nunez being my crack dealer. There was
Mhm.
no way I could skip the FPV drone. Okay,
Mhm.
so Eddie's
Herm,
been.
it's time
Eddie's
for you
been
to get
pumping.
one, John. It's about time for you to get something,
So
Herm. It's
DJ,
been
I
a
was
minute.
sitting around waiting for the stimulus checks to drop.
That's what I told y'all a couple of months ago. I
They
said
were
April.
waiting
They
for.
came out last April with that last drone. They came out with one
I'm
this
done.
April.
I'm done.
Right?
Yeah,
And check this
They,
out. And they know the tax money. Remember that, friends, and that taxes is big
But they
time for
always do
everybody.
that around the tax time, drop a
they
little
always
something
do that.
No,
Can I
I'm
get
talking
some
They
about.
always do that.
I'm talking about that
Get
new
their
tax
piece,
they
or
put
can't they
out.
get their piece?
Yep.
They always
But
do it.
listen, that new drone is all it is a quad bearing sensor that they bumped up, like the same thing like everybody else is doing. Until they can show me that camera shows good at nighttime, I will not buy it.
Well, the good thing about this, Ray, is with the 1-inch sensor,
If it's a
the
1 inch.
the pixel density can be much higher and much more discrete. And when you have that, then
Is it?
there's less noise introduced, right?
If it a
So
one-inch
that's
sensor?
where you get the more capable nighttime camera, right?
Mhm.
Is really cutting down on that noise. Or basically what it is think about it this way. When
Well,
you
I
have
got I got both pros, so I know
portable
exactly what
radio.
you're talking about.
So when you
So-
have a portable radio and one of those two-way radios, and you can't hear somebody that good, you
Mhm.
take that one dial called squelch, right?
Uh-huh.
And as you turn it up, things get a little noisier, but you can hear the person. And what you're doing is increasing the gain. Okay.
Right.
And when you fly at night and you use a higher ISO, you're increasing the energy to those photo sites, those pixels, so they can absorb light better. But what happens is because they're so close together, they bleed over on each other. And what you get is you get digital noise. Digital noise is not film grain and it looks like crap. So, that's why we all hate it, right? But when you get a larger sensor, the sensor sites can be a lot more discreet. And that means they don't contaminate each other. And you'll
Right.
get a much better nighttime flyer.
Yeah, like the Phantom 4 Pro I have, the Mavic 2 Pro I have. Yeah, I understand all of that.
Yeah,
I just
Mavic 2
said
Pro
for
with
me to
that
get
1-inch
this
sensor,
drone,
that makes the difference.
they better show me some nighttime, some nighttime. Other than that, they can keep it.
Look, like I said before, one thing DJI does, they've never released a drone that, and in my estimation, they've never released a drone that was only as good as what was out there before. It's everything they've released has always been better and better. And that's what suckers you in, right? Because we all crave for the one that's just a little bit better, even though the one we have is fully effing capable.
100%.
Dude, that's why they're
100%.
reaching in your pocket. Okay. You better get a happy ending out of this. That's all I'm saying.
What we do for a good consumer drone right now from them, it's been, 4 years now?
It's
A
going
good
to
4
be
years?
great. And the problem I see with that holdout mentality is, what? It's going to, I think the Mavic 3 is going to really be a hurt on the pocket because I think it's going to start around $3,000. Okay.
They won't do
I
it.
think it's going to start that high because they need, remember, Inspire 1, Inspire 2,
Mhm.
whatever happened. Okay. Where's the successor? It's not there. I think a Mavic 3 or 3 Pro, or Pro 3, who knows how they're going to label this bird, right? Now you've said it's Pro. Okay. So that's why I think, Ray, it's going to be up there in price. Okay.
Yeah, I never go $3,000 a consumer drone.
Ray, and again, that's where I think we differ, Ray. I don't think I don't think it's a consumer drone anymore. It might be a consumer rich boys drone, but I don't think it's going to be a consumer drone in the full sense. Because Ray, right now, I think with that 2S, when it gets released, if it gets released with a 1-inch and it can fly much longer, and it's more stable, and the sensors work regardless of what
Listen,
mode
it'll
you're
be
in.
their answer to
It'll
Hotels.
be-
$14.99.
That'll be a
Their
$14.99.
answer to the
prosumer.
6K camera.
That'll be a prosumer camera that gives the 6K Evo a run for its money, right? Because all these, I really want to get an Evo 2, but I love my DJI. Well, now a 6K release on a 2 Air S or an Air 2S, can't keep it straight.
That's gonna be interesting.
It's already has a crowd waiting for it. Come on.
I don't agree, Fly
But
Zone,
I'm not in that crowd.
Drone, Mikey. I believe that S2 will probably pass the 1,000 mark.
I think so too.
If it has a 6K capable camera,
6K 1-inch sensor, I think it'll be over $1,000.
It'll be over I'm thinking 1,000 plus, easy.
Yes.
$12.99.
Because
okay, let's see. Ray's got $14.99.
Okay, what you have in the
I'm
Mavic
thinking
Air 2
$12.99.
Hold on, Tom. What you have in the Mavic Air 2 now, you're getting it for that price now. 4 years ago, you were paying $1,500 for that. So think about it.
Yeah, but this with a 1-inch sensor.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. We're talking about
this
pricing.
is over $1,000.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, because like I said, the technology that's in
They're gonna do a St. Patrick's Day shot in a drop or what?
Technology that's in the Air 2 now, 4 years ago, you paid $1,500.
Oh, I forgot. All you guys are Irish. Okay. Yeah. Let me get in there then.
Yeah,
okay.
we're gonna do a St. Patty's Day drop in a shot.
Everybody is today.
Wednesday night with those guys are sponsored by those guys.
Happy St. Patty's Day to you who celebrated.
So yeah, DJI is planning to now sell their
Welsh Rob's
products, drones and other software and stuff that was planned to be used for industrial and for first responding applications direct to customers. Now, it seems that the distributors are not too happy about this. You know, this is a change in the previous model where sales could only be made through authorized enterprise dealers. You know, and now DJI is going to be selling these things, I guess, direct and cutting. You know, this is just like everyone else. We talked about that a little bit, Tom, with you know, Apple and Samsung, and they all do it. They have authorized distributors that you can go. They have their actual places where you can purchase from their stores, and now they sell online. So now DJI is just going is being greedy, really. And when you were going to some of these the authorized distributors, you know, you were dealing with these guys and their expertise for them being able to fit you into the application that you needed for what it was that you were doing. So now this is changing a little with DJI. And that was the word you used? What was it, Tom? What was the word? Greedy?
You're muted, Tom. You're muted yourself.
You're muted, Tom.
So remember, is greed a bad thing in a capitalistic society? So as a company?
Yes,
I mean, profit margin drives company innovation. Mm-hmm. The more profit they can make, the more they can spend on R&D. Mm-hmm. Okay, and the more that turns around to us. Now, can we bear the price being charged? Well, sales show that apparently we are. Okay, so they're reading the market. That's all they're doing is they're reading the market.
Yeah, well, like I said, that was one of the stories that popped up in my travels going through. So the only thing we had left on the plan for the night.
Well, I still want to talk a little bit about DJI FPV.
That FPV drone you want to talk about. Like I said to you before, that FPV drone was sitting on the shelf for a few people. Some people were sitting on the fence, teeter-totter. I'm going to get it. I'm not going to get it. And a lot of guys just actually threw it away and said, you know what? This is not FPV. You got to build. If you don't build your own drone, it's not FPV. And I'm like, FPV, there's no build your own drone in those initials.
Let me explain something different.
I understand what guys were talking about with that, and I still hold firm that I believe that DJI is just trying to get a bunch of old guys that fly camera drones to stay into their ecosystem.
Well, they are, but think about it this way. In FPV, this type of FPV, like I'm building here, there is always someone out there that's going to say, I want that bird built already. You can find any bird that I have here on this wall, custom built. These are custom built birds, except for this one here. Okay. And you can find someone out there to build it for you. They don't care what it costs to repair it because that doesn't bother them. I broke my bird, repair it. There are people, that's like a PC and Mac. Okay. Mac users want to be able to do things. They don't care how large the hard drive is. They don't care how fast the memory is. PC people are different. They want to know if they can change the RAM later on, or they can put in a larger hard drive. That's what it's all about. Either you can pay for it to be built, or you can build it yourself.
Why is this any different from the guys? We all came from the RC world.
Yes.
Why? This is no different.
Yeah.
You got
I
to fly, ready to bind, or do it yourself. That's the
Plug and play,
mode you
right?
have in the
Yes.
RC world.
Tom,
Why
you're
is this-
100% right.
There's no different.
You have
Tom, I
brought
get both sides of it. I bought an RC car. I drove it for
I'm
a
having
while,
bandwidth
and I
issues.
ripped the motor out and put in a new one.
Tom froze up again for some reason. I don't know what's happening. It looks like he was about to give everyone a bird, and he froze right
For
there.
the backhand.
But anyway, Tom will be right back. I think we're having some technical issues here. To be honest, we got 9 minutes. So
Yeah.
who are you gonna? Are you setting up to bring Angie on? And then we also have Deneen. What time? Well, I don't.
Well, I'm waiting to see what happened to Tom, but
I don't have the knowledge to all. There he is. He's back. He's coming back. He's resetting. To all the drones in there. Haha. Would love to turn the dark side and learn about FPV. Let's put it this way. If you fly a camera drone, the only difference to FPV is, and FPV, when you fly a camera drone, you're flying FPV, FYI. Herman says it all the time. Okay, you have a tablet in front of you, you're flying FPV. You have goggles on you, you're flying FPV. So let's not get it all twisted. Welcome back, Tom.
hey, Tom.
I don't know what happened, but when you start getting emotional for some reason, you start locking up. I don't know what that's about, Tom. Can you hear us?
Uh-oh. Frozen
I don't
again?
know. I see him. I think he's froze again. He just moved. Yeah. I think he may have to go out and come back in. I guess, Tom has very good internet speed there. It's just YouTube and Zoom and all of that combined, nobody works on the same frequency. Rob C, if you want to come out here and get your first lesson flying FPV with a spotter, let me know. We could do something on Thursday. Actually, Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday.
We got
Let me see what the weather's going to be. Hold on.
what's
Before I make any damn plans for tomorrow.
because next I want to.
Uh-oh. It says rain tomorrow, so that's not happening. But Rob, we will make it happen. I have a 380-yard park that 380-yard
They have
park at its
the
widest point.
raincoats for the FPV drones, like the Phantom. And
Yeah, I'll give him just I'll train him just like he was flying a Phantom. It's not going to be any different.
Fly in the rain.
Oh, not tomorrow. We ain't. But anyway, listen, we need to start setting up for these interviews. We got Lostgirl hikes. Go ahead, Herman.
We have two women out there. We talked about FPV, we talked about DJI, but we have two women out here who are flying DJI drones, and they're banging on those cameras. And we got some stuff to show you tonight. The first one that we have here is a video from Angela Anderson from Lostgirl Hikes. You got that video, Lawrence?
Yep, I got it queued up. Keep talking.
Angela is out of Texas, and this is a video she has there. I believe this is of a reservoir.
Yes, Toledo Bend Reservoir
Yes.
in Texas. And this, I think this was part of the flooding that they were having there during that time. But as you see, she does fly a camera drone. From what I can see, I've watched a few of her videos while getting ready for this, and it is obvious she knows how to fly. Because I know people who are scared to do bird's eye views like this and fly, move forward, literally. So I don't know how much of the video you're going to show, but you can keep going into this.
Well, like I said, if you well, see, it seems to be stuttering here as it's playing, but if you
hey guys, how's it going?
How you doing there, Angela?
How y'all doing tonight?
Angela, how are you?
Thanks for pretty good. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah,
it's great to be on.
We have your video here with the reservoir.
The Toledo Bend Reservoir.
Yes. We were just showing it, and
cool.
From what I see, I'm watching it now. Wait a minute, what the hell is going on?
Is it stuttering?
Oh,
I thought that.
Yeah,
I
well, it normally
no,
does
it
when you
wasn't.
try to stream it back through.
Yeah, that's what happens when we try to play it back through Zoom for some reason.
But Angela, why don't you start off by telling us, how did you get involved with UAS?
Okay.
And camera drones, period. I think she just froze up.
I kind of just went with the niche market. Oh, did I freeze?
Yeah,
Your picture's frozen, but frozen, but we can still hear you. You're good. You're good now.
Let me see.
Okay. Hold on a second. We
Down.
are okay. There you go. We got you back.
Okay, cool. I sat down, so maybe that worked. But no, I got into drones just kind of out of curiosity, just what stuff looked like from above, where I was at, because I was already doing photography.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So you were already into photography, and you were just looking for another platform.
Yeah, I needed more.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had told me she was into what was that macro photography?
Oh yeah, the macro photography.
Yes. I saw some of your pictures and I had sent them over to these guys.
I actually have some fail on me for not having it loaded.
Oh no.
I have just give me a few seconds.
What, you camping?
I've been slacking. I've been slacking.
Yeah. I got.
Hold on.
Let's see.
Hold on.
The
Here
fire.
we go.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. While you guys are talking.
Fire started.
So what part of Texas are you from?
Very nice.
Here, we're showing some of your macro photography.
Yes.
I'm northeast of Dallas. I'm about
Okay.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, I really like to do the flower photos the most.
Okay.
I had a free pass practice that with the macro photography, looking for other subjects, and got me into hiking, I guess. After that,
getting out there in nature to photograph.
Yeah, got me started.
Yeah, it's a big draw. Sure, landscape photography is a passion of mine as well, Angela. And there's always something out there, right? And the nice thing about macro photography and what interests me about it is there are these worlds within worlds.
Yeah, it's
when you really get in close and look.
Yeah, like you captured that little guy sitting there on that leaf, and it's
a little grasshopper,
you don't see his eyeball.
The texture of that leaf in the picture. Look at that.
That's crazy.
Yes,
I enjoy it. There's like a, I don't like the creepy crawlies and all that stuff, but my family laughs at me because I'll be sitting there trying to take pictures of the little insects and whatnot.
So I guess if one jumped while you were taking a picture, you'd probably pass out.
Man, I'll be screaming. Yeah, I'll be screaming. I'm like, ah.
Actually,
no. I still try to take a picture though.
Yeah, floral photography
that?
actually gave me such a much deeper appreciation of like bumblebees
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
mule flies that, and all these insects that cross pollinate. And the nice thing about getting in there with macro photography is you're actually seeing it happening. I mean, remember sitting in a classroom as a kid
Right. And it's-
learning about cross pollination, but now with the macro photography, you're able to get into that world, and it really pulls you into it. And I see, from your camera drone photography, we have a group we're in, Freedom Drones, that we call it Top Down Tuesdays,
Yes.
and the shots are how you're taking them top down,
Right.
which is a completely different
Oh,
way.
I
We're not
heard about
we're not
that.
used to looking at things that way, right, Angela? We're standing on the ground.
I know.
We're
I
not
try to
used
tell
to
you
looking
guys.
at that.
I said,
Yeah.
next time you guys go to that one spot, make sure you do a bird's eye view, top down view.
Yeah.
Because I saw
Well-
a couple spots. And
Well, now see, as a pro photographer, one thing you always do is you take a shot in landscape mode. You got to make sure you take that shot in portrait mode. And now,
Yeah.
as a drone photographer, then we got to remember to take the top down shot also.
yeah. Yeah, I was an iPhone photographer too for a while, so I was exploring all kind of different perspectives, and then, you know how that goes.
So,
when it comes
what do
to
you
where you can see
enjoy?
what you can see on a lens.
What drone are you actually? What is your mainstay when it comes to flying? What drone are you flying the most?
I think she froze.
Froze? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Not good. She's
I fly the Mavic Pro 2 Zoom right now currently.
oh,
The Mavic
I had
2
a,
Pro.
previously I had a Phantom.
So how often are you out there?
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mavic
we
Pro
got you
2
right
Zoom.
now.
I got neighbors, so
So-
got you right there. That's my
So-
back.
Okay, so you have plenty of stuff to look at and plenty of trees to avoid as well.
Well, Texas is a big place.
Yeah.
Texas is a big, big
I
place.
have never been to
Mhm.
Texas.
I mean,
I've-
as
great-
much as
Oh, this
open
is actually-
space they got
I'm-
some open roads, and
Mhm.
they have some desert area too.
Oh yeah, the Panhandle way. Oh gosh, it's so boring. I'm over there by the Panhandle. But Caprock area. I don't know if y'all have heard of that place.
Yes, I have.
They got some awesome textures over there for desert.
Right.
Mhm.
Amarillo. So I haven't gotten to explore yet with the
See,
drone
I
over
just
that way.
heard your Texas accent when you said Amarillo.
Amarillo.
I'm
Yeah,
just
it's-
messing with you. Just
Got
trying
a
to
family down
just
there.
trying to help you relax.
No, it's all good.
So Angela, how long have you been flying?
For about 4 years now.
Okay, so probably about
I haven't gotten to. What's that?
Probably about as long as I have. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's somebody else in the channel a while back ago that said they flew for 4 years as well. So
So what was the first drone you started with?
the Phantom 3 standard.
Okay, so you've been flying for a while and you've actually been able to watch the evolution
Yeah.
of drones.
Yeah, I had
If
the
you
Mavic.
were, and here's a hypothetical question,
Mhm.
if you were to have access to a new drone, what would your next new drone be?
Well, what features would it have?
I really do love my Mavic Pro 2 Zoom, but I really love the style of the FPV.
Mhm.
So I know I'm going with what everybody else has been going with, but it's just the immersive interaction with the landscape photography that you're taking.
Mhm.
You can just go in there faster and closer, and I don't know, to me it's just, I feel like it's more immersive and interactive.
Yeah, and
With
I'm
your
going to tell
footage.
you firsthand, Angela, it is much more immersive.
Mhm.
I always say that as a pro photographer,
Mhm.
I still enjoy putting my eye up to the viewfinder because I'm in that image instead of looking at the back screen.
Right.
And now having the DJI FPV drone, and having the goggles and being fully immersed, I actually feel as a photographer, I can probably frame my shots so much better because I don't have those outside distractions.
Yeah, the only thing I worry about is the area that I'm in. It's like, I swear the helicopters, they find me and the airplanes find me. I don't know what it is.
Angela, we're New York City boys.
Yeah.
We're New York City boys. So
You guys
believe
got it
me, we
worse,
have a
you know.
helicopter over every shoulder.
True.
So we know where you're coming from.
You know, you can
completely
hear them coming,
understand.
but
Yeah, you can always hear them coming.
Yeah, but you know, the thing about the DJI FPV drone is it actually tells me. So it does have
it?
ADS-B.
Yes.
It's got an ADS-B
Yes.
receiver in it.
Yes.
And it comes up. It comes up in the screen as aircraft nearby.
In fact, when Tom was with us flying
Sorry, Angela.
during the week, he had said, "Hey, there's an airplane." Now he saw the plane before we did.
Yeah,
And
I
he
was
said,
alerted
there's an
before.
airplane in the area, and right where he was flying, we actually saw the plane passing in the background.
That's too cool. That's too
as
cool.
he was flying on the field. Yes.
That's handy because, you know, it's like, where'd you, I swear, I mean, you know, you look around with your drone and you don't see nothing and they come out of nowhere.
Sure. And with a helicopter, helicopters are unpredictable, at least with a plane or a private plane. It's going on a path. With a helicopter, it can go anywhere. And unfortunately, can also fly much, much lower. And, you know, we've been places where in an urban area where helicopters are flying at 300 feet above ground. So,
or
you know, it can get scary.
taking off.
Yeah.
We have a tin ceiling over us. We have nothing but aircraft over us constantly. That's why I love Angela. Right now, I'm in southern Nevada, and so I like the great wide open. And you know, I'm surrounded by nothing but desert right now. But it's a great place to fly. It's a great place to fly. Plus, you know what? The other nice thing that you'll get a kick out of with the FPV is being able to do those mountain dives. Okay, to get that real cinematic type of look, right?
Yeah, I got to try that a little bit when I went up to over to Colorado last year. That was so fun.
Angela, did you get that drone? Or are you planning to get it? Or
oh no, I gotta wait a year or two. You know, I'm staying on a path to make my credit good and golden.
Okay,
good.
You're not getting sucked in by DJI.
I'm trying not to.
It's too easy though.
Behave. I know.
Right.
Now
it's
that you
too
tell me
easy.
that.
Sorry.
See the airplanes. Thank you. Thanks, Tom.
We need Angela. We need to have a lend-lease program. Okay, that's what we got to do. Okay.
I promise I won't bring it back broken.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Tom don't have care refresh. Okay, I don't have my own private policy.
I haven't broken mine yet.
so what are you pine to shoot? What do you want? What do you want to shoot that you haven't been able to shoot yet?
Oh, I'm trying to get better at doing some cityscapes. I haven't really dived into that yet, only because a little more populated, you know what I mean?
Right.
So kind of uncertainty there. So I kind of stick out in the woods where there's usually nobody around and can, you know, have your own free fly as much as you want.
Right.
What's the closest city you're close enough to?
Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah.
She's just northeast of Dallas.
I did do some flying with some nonprofit group. He sponsored some of my stuff and wanted me to fly for him and do some footage for his group. So I told him,
very nice.
Yeah, I wanted to work on my portfolio, and so I offered some services. And
okay.
So now I know
he knew all the spots around Dallas and took me throughout Dallas.
He was your drone fixer. Okay. Yeah, he was your drone fixer.
Yeah,
you travel much to get your videos done and stuff like that? Or
yeah,
I travel. Area where you are, you all over Texas.
I go everywhere. I go over Oklahoma. I go to Louisiana.
You take your drone. You do take your drone with you, I hope.
of course. I got it here with me right now. I'm in Arkansas right now for the night.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. See,
I figured it was a
that's
good
a
night to
true
do some.
that's a true drone pilot. When you know
Oh,
your family's going grocery shopping and you got the
You
drone
got
Take
in
the
the car.
drone with you.
yeah.
You got
I
the
got the
drone
drone's
in
gotta
the
come with you.
car
Oh,
to
don't put that
perhaps
bag
get
here.
some.
My drone got to sit there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
If
Get in a quick flight while everyone's in the mall
Yeah,
shopping.
one of you kids has to
Exactly.
stay home. I got to have a space for my drone.
yeah,
But
you
now,
know, when you,
now,
when
Angela,
you go ahead.
prior to COVID, did you have any meetups? Did you meet up with other, you know, groups of flyers, like more than one other person? Did you ever do a, you know, able to join a drone meetup?
It was a couple of years back, but that's the only meetup I've been able to do with 400 AGL Mel.
Okay.
Right.
And I did a meetup with him, and I haven't had the chance to do any more lately, but I'm interested in meeting up with other drone flyers. So
Okay.
try to,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun because I mean, you know, you get a couple of us in one place together, and everybody's
Mhm.
sharing tips and tricks and insights, right? And that's what we enjoy about tonight, is trying to get insights from you. Like, what advice would you give to that new camera drone flyer or that photographer who wants to get into camera drones?
research your product, see how it aims towards your photography skills, I guess. And then once you get your drone, practice in an open field where there's no power lines and no trees.
Good advice.
Yes.
Good
Yeah.
advice. And those of us that have experienced learning how to fly have probably run amok of a few of those guidelines. So, yeah, good advice.
Well,
Views
Good
and opinions
advice.
that are heard tonight, not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone
Yeah,
on
I
the
already
panel
saw
Yeah.
or
you,
in the chat.
Crash. It's okay.
Don't go
What
flying
I-
over a lake right away, right?
what I would believe in the most is looking at your surroundings before you take off. Make sure that there's nothing over you. Nothing, you know, you don't
Yeah.
want to go
Before you take off, you should know what
fly
airspace
straight
you're
up in there
taking
and
off
run into
in, damn
something.
it.
That also, yep.
Yeah.
You don't want to run into anything.
Nope.
Before you take off, you should know what airspace you're in before you even get there. Plain and
Yeah.
simple.
Well, that's
So,
what I'm
Angela,
saying.
what if any is your favorite accessory for your Mavic 2?
I just got the lights, the firehouse lights, but I guess my favorite accessory, I haven't really modded it out yet, other than the skin. I did buy a skin, and it kind of looks like Christmas wrapping paper. So every time you take it out, you know, it looks like you just open a Christmas package. And it's like,
Okay.
oh.
Now, do you
But,
use ND filters? Have you used ND filters?
I just got some last weekend. I just haven't had the chance to put it on and test it out yet.
Right.
So Herman was giving me some good advice about this setup that he uses with the 6, 8, and 10 method.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you use
And
a 32, you must be, if you use a 32 or 64, you must be looking straight into the sun.
Blue cloud
yeah.
in the sky.
That's what he was telling me.
Or you're out
Head
in the
towards the
desert.
light.
Yeah, true.
Or you're out in the desert. Like,
And there's
you
not
can't
a
fly
sun
with
in the
anything
sky.
less than a 32 on the Bonneville salt flats, because the light reflecting off the ground, I mean, it's going to just be a complete blowout.
The glare.
So
Yeah.
you gotta use a 32, and I'm talking about looking away from the sun. You want to turn towards the sun, you better throw a 64 on there. So there are applications for that. But like the other day out in the Mojave, I'm flying with a 16. I wouldn't even take it out of the bag without a 16 on there. But that's the other thing, is just looking around your surroundings and seeing what's out there to shoot. I mean,
yeah.
Now with this opens up a whole new world, places you couldn't get to before, right?
For sure.
You know,
really changed a whole lot with when I choose my hiking places, you know. And I tried not to hike so much in the state park because you can't really fly in the state parks. So
right.
I've explored other trails I didn't even know about with the drone. So it's gotten me out there quite a bit.
That's one thing I like to do too. Is I recon a place with the drone to see if there's better vantage points, and then move to those vantage points. So what do you have? You have a hawk that's staging to take your drone out of the sky when you lift off there.
There's some crows going. Yeah.
So now, have you had any problems with birds flying your drones? Any experiences?
Sparrows. Yeah, I've learned how to fly around birds because of the sparrows.
The sparrows interfere with you?
Man, they're jerks.
I figured they would take off.
Yeah, our problem
is Lewis Mark says on long exposures he uses an ND1000.
That's the sparrows, right? Man, else.
Well, so an ND1000 for a long exposure is difficult to manage on a drone. Okay,
because your drone is always moving.
It's always moving. So yeah, I mean there are some applications for it. There's no doubt about it. But
the best you can do is tripod mode. That's the most you're going to get steady out of it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I, what would be the application of an ND1000? I would say, look, if you get a good vantage point above a waterfall, an ND1000 might give you the type of image you're looking for, that misty, mystical type of flow of water. But again, you're going to be taking a lot of shots before you get the one that's going to be sharp enough to show others, right?
Right.
And that's one thing in photography most people don't realize is the number of shots we wind up taking, And again, only show your best stuff. Nobody wants to see all your mistakes, unless, of course, you're teaching a class. That's a different story.
Welcome from Kentucky, Lewis Marks. We appreciate you coming in to Wednesday nights with those guys. Usually we do a little drone talk, drone tech, stuff like that that's going on. But tonight we're doing something a little different because this is a Women's Exploration Month or something to that effect.
Empowerment.
I'm
sorry. Thank you guys so much for that.
All right, I threw a word in there.
So, Angela, welcome to those guys.
Thank you. Such an honor.
We see you around.
It's breaking the male barrier here.
We see you around a lot.
Yeah.
And you're a great supporter of our live streams, and we appreciate that, Angie. You have no idea, because we just wish that we had more women to bring on.
Oh yeah,
because
I wish I had more to give you guys with the women flyers too.
No, don't worry about it. You have
being on is a help.
Yes,
I need to go to your page so people can check out your page. So give me a second while you guys are talking. I'll pull up your page and post the link.
Chat?
No, I'm on my phone. I'm sorry.
All right, no problem. You got it, Lawrence?
Yes, I got it. I got it right here. Lostgirl Hikes.
I wish I could participate in the chat. Normally I do, but unfortunately.
And normally you do. We see you there all the time, and we appreciate that. Thanks so much.
Yes, this is her page. This is Lost Hikes page. Lost Girl Hikes page.
Listen to your guys.
Please go by and support her. We do that here. We support each other's channels. It's all about sharing what you know, and it's good to actually have a female on here to hear what and how she goes about, what inspires you. And I did notice you into macro photography, because when you see flowers close up and stuff like that, I'm like, now I could imagine if she had a magnifying glass.
Now that you've heard,
that's the great thing about macro photography. You can get in there.
She put the drone pants on the same way you do, one leg at a time.
This is true.
Just gotta start it with,
Oh, Lewis Mark says he's flown with 5BDM drone meetup in NYC. It says 5B NYC, so I'm assuming 5BDM NYC.
So we actually have someone tonight from NYC5BDM. We have Deneen, Pagan.
Cool.
Deneen, Pagan.
So you're gonna hang out with us, Angie?
Yeah, I'll hang out with you guys.
Okay, cool.
Oh, great. Cool.
You
My
got
arm's
that
getting
video?
tired.
Yeah, yes, I do have this video. Herman wanted to show the video. This is Deneen. She flies with NYC. Hold it, stupid me. I started the video, but y'all can't see Jack until I do this.
You share
So
it?
Deneen is local to the New York City area. Those of us or regulars on the panel have been very fortunate to be able to fly with Deneen.
Yes, yes.
across
Everyone on the
numerous
panel
meetups,
has.
and yeah, and
This is a
Oh,
work
wow. That's
here,
beautiful.
and her photography, her pictures are phenomenal. And this video shows a little bit
Yes.
of her
This
video
all works.
skills as well as her photography and her eye for photography.
Now I believe she
And-
shot this just before
Man,
got
I'm
the
jealous.
official lockdown of the city.
Yes, this video is actually before the official lockdown of New York City, before they started shutting down the restaurants, the stores, and everything else. So a lot of this footage was from that time frame. But this is the infamous, that's the Manhattan Bridge there. But the brick one in the distance is the infamous Brooklyn Bridge,
Hey, look at
which,
the
by the way, it's a great landmark. It's a historic landmark. The
Damn.
Manhattan
Sorry.
Bridge, the Manhattan skyline, all of this stuff we get to see on the regular, guys. You know,
Hello,
and
Deneen.
and just like you out in the country, you have people who fly mountains and open land. Well, this is what we fly, and I often joke about it because I tell people if I were to go out in the country where there were no buildings, I'd probably crash every time.
Mhm.
You know, what's up, Deneen?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing? Deneen?
How are you?
Hi, everybody.
hey, Deneen, how are you?
I'm good. How
Or
are
get
you?
bored. Or get bored.
Good.
One or the other. Hey, Deneen.
That's true.
Deneen, you shot that video just before the lockdown.
Yeah.
I guess a year ago.
Some beautiful photography you
You know.
did.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's bittersweet, because it was a lot less people outside.
Mhm.
So it felt a little
Right.
more calmer to do, because, you get a little nervous when, there's a lot of traffic and people. But
Yeah,
it
it's
was
something we
pretty cool.
deal with all the time, right, Deneen?
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to find that little spot to
I
just
gotta-
like
Yes,
nest into
yes.
to get that
Hello,
shot,
little
right?
llama. I hope you're here to show support. Tim Jackson from
Hi,
Australia.
hi.
Tim Jackson, what's going on?
Digital Kite, Audley. I have to point
Tim
these
Jackson.
people out first.
I
They
got a
say,
high
yo,
five
man, I
to
was in
Deneen
this
there for
thing.
women
Hey.
power.
Hi. Nice to see
Yes, did
someone else
Deneen
flying.
meet Angie? Angie
Yep.
meet Deneen.
Yep.
Nice to meet
So-
you.
So Deneen,
Yeah.
how long you been flying, Deneen?
Not that long,
Nice
from
to meet you.
2018.
2018.
2018,
Okay.
yeah.
How fast time goes, huh?
Listen,
Newborn
when you
baby.
when you got some great teachers by your side, it helps.
Well, you know what? One thing with Deneen is you would show up at a meet and turn around, and there she was, just off in the corner to the side,
Yeah.
just slightly. Okay.
That'd be me.
But-
Eddie
but
Nunez
always
says, what's
asking-
up, D?
Always asking questions.
Ray Kelly.
Eddie. Always asking questions, and
Oh, yeah.
and right. I was saying earlier to Angela, you just get a few of us together, D, and we're both sponges and water faucets. We're just whatever we know, we're putting out there, and whatever we're hearing, we're soaking in. And
Yeah.
Deneen has
Mhm.
been extremely astute at soaking it in. But D, the eye, tell us. I mean, what are you going for when you get up there in
Keep
the sky?
talking. I'm going to
how-
show, to keep
how are
talking, I'm
you
going to show
going-
some more stuff while you're talking.
How are you going about to pick out, what you're looking at? I mean, just to look at the color, and how you're capturing that cityscape.
I think
Okay,
it's
is inspiring.
it's just a passion. You gotta have that passion. I love photography. I love photography from way back in the days, and I don't know. I don't remember exactly how I came across knowing about drones, but I do know I have a friend outside, a personal friend, Andrew, who I owe a big thanks to. That he's the one that I saw his first video of him flying a drone. And I was like, wow, that looks so good. And then I ended up buying a drone, and he put me on to actually fly drones. He's a member.
And what was that drone? What was that drone? What was that drone?
What was
My
that first round?
And- and
Unique breeze.
Yes, you want to know what?
Unique
I'm
breed.
only pointing this out. This is Deneen's channel. Please support her as well. I'm only pointing it out because when Deneen came to the very first meetup, she was like a little shy and quiet and like Tom said, like off to the side, but still mingling with people. And I personally remember telling Deneen, you know what? Those guys over there, come on, let's go over here to the
Yeah, I
side.
was just gonna say that. I remember, and I was gonna say a big thank you to you, Lawrence. That one thing that I loved about the Five Boroughs group was the fact that they not only was a group showing off pictures, but they actually took time to scout out a place that was, legal and a good place to fly, and then separate the new people from the people that were more experienced. And Lawrence took me one and, showed me some stuff. And the one thing that always stood with me, Lawrence, is that box that to control this drone, because once you're up there, it's a little different. It's hard to really control left goes right. So thank you for that,
Yeah, I for those of you who don't know what she's talking about, when I teach someone to fly, I teach them, but like she said, it's called a box. And they ask, well, how am I going to learn to fly this drone? And I tell them, you go out about 25 feet this way, then you turn sideways and you go 25 feet, and then you do it a third time. And the fourth time, you should wind up pretty much in front of where you started. And if you can do it to the left, I usually ask, so you're right-handed or left-handed? If you're right-handed, I tell you go to the right. If you're left-handed, I tell you go to the left. But then after you've mastered that, then you do the exact opposite. And when you combine them both, it's actually a figure eight.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's
figure eight.
That's interesting.
And it's easier to control the drone that way because, again, in a state of panic,
invincible storm.
You're bringing it one way, you want to avoid a building, but you don't, you know what I mean? So it's easier to go, if you're righty, to left, to right, front and back. So
yeah, I wish I had you guys here in Texas.
Shout out to Anthony Charles. How are you,
invincible storm.
Yeah, so D, one thing that is obvious from your photography is your ability to handle a hyperlapse and handle that hyperlapse at night, which can sometimes defy the ability of others, right? What's the secret? Come on, the people are tuned in to hear how did Dee get those dreamy nighttime hyperlapses?
I mean, I'm fortunate to live in an area that has a lot of beauty with a lot of light, and that is the one thing that you need the best, the most.
Exactly.
And the fact
we are actually cheating if you think about it.
And the fact is that John Johnson, Big John, Crazy John.
Big John, John Santiago.
Yeah, I gotta show him love too, because that one person met up with me, showed me how to do the hyperlapse, showed me how to do he actually did a lot of stuff with the settings, and then I took it from there. And I just kept playing with it.
They admit to the fact that John,
you're a good student.
Yeah, but admit to the fact that John will meet up with you at 4 a.m. in the morning if given the opportunity.
Thank you.
John will fly at any hour of any day, regardless, right?
And
that's
true.
One thing. We're
Angie,
fortunate, Angela.
Angie,
no doubt
at
about
any
it.
Time of the day, you can find somebody
you can fly with usually.
Yeah, for
yes.
sure.
And that's the thing. I was scared to fly at night until I met with him. Until he showed me the controller and how you
especially by yourself.
Yeah,
guys, make sure you guys
how you can find where your drone
support
is at.
these two ladies on their channel. Make sure you support them.
Yeah, so
I'm putting up Lostgirl, Angie's also.
D, let's admit to the fact that you are a geek, okay?
Yeah, I love my technology.
She loves her technology because she'll roll up on her scooter. Okay, and she's ready to fly. She just quietly zips in, and the next thing you know, the bird's up in the air. Okay?
Oh wow! You got a drone back.
Hold on 1 second. I kept going back to the video, but I forgot this part that Deneen had sent us. She had sent Deneen.
Oh, the photo.
Deneen,
I got
I have one complaint, Deneen. When someone asks you to send pictures, she sent a whole album, yo.
But that's why I picked out the ones that I showed you.
I didn't know which one.
Herman was like, okay, send some pictures.
You and you pick.
I only sent you some of them, Lawrence.
I just want to mess with you on that, Deneen.
But
That's all.
Deneen, I got it.
I just want to mess with you, but
We
you
all
guys
from
can
New
see
York.
these. You guys can see these photos, right?
But what is your thing about the Brooklyn Bridge?
Yes. Yes, you do
Wow.
have a fixation with the Brooklyn Bridge.
She happens to be a Brooklyn girl, so
I know.
let's start there.
I live
Okay,
a few
really?
blocks. I live a few blocks from the Brooklyn Bridge. So whenever I don't want to, travel out flying, I'll hit that spot because every angle, lighting, everything.
You can always get different
always get-
shots.
Exactly.
It's a
Exactly.
great
I never
bridge.
get tired of this area.
For sure.
But you can't. You can't because there's so many different ways to shoot it.
Exactly. And I'm not that person that takes one shot and be like, okay, that's good, or 2 shots, because
I'm
they know
done,
what they
right.
want. I have to take like literally 10, 15 shots at different angles. And then pick
I'm the
out
same
the
way.
ones. Yeah.
Well, that you know what that's called, right? That's called being a professional photographer. That's what that is. I've always said it. You can tell the amateur from the professional because the amateur will come up and take a snapshot and then walk away.
And
where the pro will walk up because the pro, Deneen and Angela admitted, you walk into a shot already having an image in your head you're thinking about capturing. Now you have to realize it. So a pro photographer walks in, takes a shot in landscape, takes a shot in portrait, moves the angle slightly, does it again, and does it again, and does it again.
I agree, Stevie.
Yeah, that's it. I just realized
it's a
the
struggle
shot I was trying to get, right? And that's also one of the tips, again, I'll cover right here, is when you go to edit your shots, look at them in reverse order. Because usually it was the last shot you took was usually the one that let you move on to something else. Like you realize what you were trying to get. So if you ever want to speed up your editing time, always work in reverse when you're looking at your shots.
I work in reverse, actually.
Yeah, so do I.
There you go.
This is Angie's channel right here, and Dee's channel for some reason.
And thank you so much, Lawrence, for showing that too.
Not a problem. I put up your channel and Deneen's channel, but for some reason I'm slacking today, so just bear with me.
Oh gosh.
He needs a reason. Herman, did you hear that? He needs a reason.
IG than I do my YouTube channel. I'm still working on the YouTube channel. I don't have that many videos on there, but my IG, I have a lot more pictures.
Oh, what's your Instagram? I'll add you.
Yeah, put it if you have access to the chat, but throw it in the chat right there. And here's Deneen's channel.
Yeah.
Please support each other.
You got it.
Yep, it's Capturing D Magic 88.
Cool. I'll add you after this.
Capturing _ you might see it on the page there.
Yeah, Bill post drones, Deneen, in the chat says, thanks for turning me on to D. Going to post some of her work, Coast, and highlight her channel and support the local drone channel.
There you go. That's the community for you.
See?
That's the community for you, right?
See, you need to get on camera more and be like, yo, what's up?
So D, I have a burning question for you.
What's up?
Is there any interest, D, in the DJI FPV drone?
Oh, for sure. Most definitely. I would love to put it together with
it's hard not to
cinematic.
Right.
That's what I would, I'm not about the flips and turns and all that. It'll get me a little dizzy. But the whole just, maybe chasing a train.
You want the cinematic, right?
You don't have to. You can be a cruiser like me. That's all I do.
Yeah.
I don't
I know a few that do it nice and smooth.
Yeah. Lawrence has never flipped a barrel roll. Never.
Yes,
I do. Yes.
He has.
I actually
straight into the ground. And
I know you do. I know you
see,
do.
Tom, you see this right here? I just repaired her after doing a power dive straight into the ground at 50 miles an hour.
Yeah,
so that means you qualify for that new Facebook group called DJI Pile Drivers, right?
Yeah.
I can write whole group of new FPV pilots.
DJI on the bird.
DJI Pile Drivers.
I'll tell you the names of these groups that they come up with. I tell you.
Right?
Well, they already have a Air 2S group.
A group, right? I mean, you get an FCC filing.
The bird yet?
I know.
I'm wondering how that one's going to be.
Well, you know what we were saying earlier, D. no matter what DJI does, whatever they put out is a little is
I
better than
know.
what
It's
they
like,
had before, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And the problem is you go broke. You know,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
already there.
following every
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
It's
start
too
with one
easy.
drone, you end up with like 10. I know.
Well, you end up with an Air Force, right?
A fleet,
You know,
an entire
It
yeah,
fleet.
that's it. You wind up
never-
with a whole Air Force.
It never
Yeah.
fails. Every time I travel usually like with 3 drones. Hotels my backup because
Dang.
DJI restrictions, and I always get stopped at the airport. They always looking at my luggage, like, what are you doing? You know? Never fails.
So I'll give you some advice, D, right? I traveled out to the Southwest on Saturday morning, and I got a bag with 2 drones, an SLR camera, and a shitload of batteries, right? And in the bag, I have a studio laptop and Microsoft Surface.
Yeah.
And I put it up on the belt, and they go, "Okay, you got to take out the electronics." I go, "Yeah, that's not happening. You're gonna have to hand check it." and I'm going, you know what, D? It's worth buying if you're doing a lot of air travel. It's worth getting TSA pre-check because that makes all the difference in the world. Okay,
I got to do that.
you got to do it. $80, cover you for several years. It's well worth it. But so what happened is I only get stopped for 2 reasons. Number one, if they press the matter about the hand check, then they'll open it up and they'll swipe this and they'll swipe that. Usually no problem. Or the TSA agent that's been pining to buy a drone and wants to ask you 50 questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are the only problems I have in the airport right now. I've never had a problem on board the aircraft.
Neither have
Okay.
I.
And one time I was asked if I could gate check my bag. And I said, well, actually, it take me about 20 minutes to unload the batteries in it. So I don't know what you want to do. And they were like, oh, no problem. Go ahead.
No, I don't
So-
trust
Angie,
that.
you
Nice.
take your
Nice.
drone on the plane with you, or
Too
you,
many sticky fingers.
I have, but I can't remember if it was Oregon or in Washington. And there's the Phantom 3 at the time, but they didn't give me no issues. I took it on as a carry-on. But this is like a long time ago before all of this.
Yeah, my bag's a carry-on. You're right, D. My stuff is not going to get
Like
checked.
2
No
carry-ons.
way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my friends
Yeah.
make fun of me with all the electronics and stuff that I carry with.
the cheater
No,
saint.
don't worry. Don't worry
Cheater
about
Bag
saint.
of
it.
electronics, one
You
outfit.
have your own fan
Yeah,
club
right?
in here too. D. It said cheater
pair of
saint
pants,
says
3
she's
drones.
definitely one of the best.
Nice.
Aw.
Nice.
You packing to go, you got 3 drones, 1 outfit, and 2 pair of underwear.
Yep, that's about it.
Make sure you got to change your underwear. That's all.
Listen.
Yeah, that's it.
You know,
That's-
see,
No.
if
So what's it going to take to get more women into this community?
yeah, Angie and D, both of you.
I think the more meetups and would help a lot, just to kind of tell them, hey, women included, y'all come too, just to get them involved, I
What's
think
the
'cause
name
most,
Sorry,
Go ahead.
Angie, go ahead.
no, I was saying, because, most of the female population are already photographers and they're kind of curious too about the drone stuff. So I think it's just the meetups that are going to help bring in more females to the communities.
Okay.
There is a lot out there.
Well, I was going to
Yeah.
say, what's the name of
There
that
are a lot.
group?
There's groups everywhere.
Herman, what's the
Yeah.
name of that group that what is her name? Fallon was in? That
Women
women's
Who
group?
Drone?
Women who drove?
Yeah,
Yeah,
women who drone. They looked like they were coming on strong, and now they seem to have. I haven't seen anything about them, but I actually personally have been keeping up with them. But I would have also liked to have seen their group
Bro.
get larger in New York, because at one time
Yeah.
it was a pretty decent number of women who were.
Yeah.
Well, it also takes, a change in thinking in this country that we have to invest in STEM education. And we drones and, even that RoboMaster I thought was a good, good foray into this is get drones into the classroom. Tell me what kid it won't be interested in something that flies. I don't know. As a kid, I wanted to be a superhero. And what one superpower did you want? You wanted to be able to fly,
Yeah.
right? And here it is.
Who
Here it
doesn't?
is.
Who
Now
doesn't?
you have something that can, right? And that's why I'm telling both of you ladies, if you want to save some money, do not put on the goggles. Do not put on the goggles, because once you put on the goggles, money's going to
Done.
fly right out of your pocket. You're going to be
Done
done.
for.
Okay.
Put the goggles on.
Yeah, just
I'm just saying.
Let him be the
Only when you're ready.
I remember when I first met you with the glasses. I thought
With the
those were
Maverios.
really cool because you can
Mhm.
still see what's around you, and that's
Oh, I tried
talking
those.
to you about that.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. And I was telling you back then, right? I mentioned it earlier. Is I'm old school. On my mirrorless camera, I of course have a beautiful high resolution screen on the back of it, but my eye is in that viewfinder.
Mhm.
Okay, because I want to be inside, and like with macro photography, Angela, I'm looking in because I want to be able to frame that shot. Now, the problem with
For sure.
flying with a phone, there's not enough real estate on that with all the telemetry and everything. Now, of course, going with the tablet was great, but then you had to throw a hood on the tablet.
Mhm.
Okay, and sometimes your hood needed a hood.
Mhm.
And then, the Maverios, it was nice because it was projecting like a 70-inch flat screen in front of you, but you still had that
Mhm.
peripheral vision. Yes, that is definitely what you lose with flying the DJI FPV goggles. And that's the other recommendation I make is don't be standing in a park alone with these on your head doing a Stevie Wonder.
No.
Okay. Because anybody can come up behind you and they walk away with your bag and you wouldn't even know it because you're fully immersed. So
Yep.
it's definitely, I say,
All right.
to stay legit,
What's up,
you
brother?
should have a visual observer, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Hey, Deneen, are
Yes.
you familiar with the group Coast to Coast, Bill Coast to Coast Drones, or the group Coast to Coast?
No.
Bill is featuring one of your videos with the hyperlapses, and I will actually go on
Oh.
off my phone and put the Facebook group in the link. For those
Okay.
of you who don't know, Bill Coast to Coast, most of you do. Bill Coast to Coast has his own channel, and he was like, "Thanks for putting me on to Deneen. I'm gonna feature one of her videos and something to
Oh,
do
thank
in
you.
a month and
Does
stuff
really,
like
she did a
that."
really
So,
beautiful job.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank
that's
you.
why
Good
I had
stuff,
you
well
guys come
deserved.
on tonight, because I admire your work, the both of you. I
Aw.
see, I can tell you, I know Deneen from here in the city, and I met you from you being on Roger's channel.
Right.
And when I saw your work, I was like, wait a minute. Some of
Yeah, I
these
enjoy
videos-
listening to you guys too, as well as many other.
this is his page.
live
It's like the
streams.
third story down, but actually, I didn't.
Now,
even
Angela,
know,
what do
like,
you love the most about us? Is it when we go squirrel and
Man, you guys are
completely off
crazy.
topic? Okay.
Yeah, you guys have like a bunch of different topics.
Hold on,
you
we got
guys
to
do
do a
talk
St.
about.
Patty's Day drop in a shot.
Thank you,
We
Rick.
rarely get women on here to do a drop with us.
Uh-oh.
So Deneen,
the drop?
you
right.
know how it goes. We go Wednesday nights with those guys is sponsored by. Then we hesitate for 1 second and go those guys.
Okay, but
You
tonight
don't
we're
have to
doing
use the
it
manly
slightly
voice.
different. No. Tonight we're doing it slightly different.
Yes,
We'll
we
say
are.
with those guys, and they'll say with those girls. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we can do that.
They're
Let me go get
gals,
something to
and we're
drink real
guys,
quick. I'll be right
and
back.
Got to open it up.
Hey,
And see,
Deneen,
here
you
we
have
go
access
again.
to the chat?
Herman, I want you to dock his pay. He
Yeah,
wasn't
Uh-oh.
even ready. He wasn't even ready for
Yeah,
a
I
drop
know.
in a shot
What's
tonight.
wrong with him?
Trying to get us all ready
What
to
is-
go, and then he leaves.
Deneen,
Did he
you
start
able to
St.
check-
Patty's Day early today? What happened?
I don't know.
there?
He's tongue tied. Everything's messed up with him tonight.
Yeah.
I
Deneen, you
told
have
him
access to
a
the
couple
chat,
more
Deneen?
shots would work. Yeah.
Deneen, you have access to the chat?
You know what is this? I have you guys on this full screen, so I don't see it. How do I look?
I think you just go to the YouTube channel.
You have the
Another
YouTube channel.
I was trying to make this smaller, so I'm not. Then I have another laptop here.
All right.
she's got like 4 screens going
I
on
got
there.
2 laptops.
When you bring up the chat on YouTube,
It's my first
mute
time
it.
doing this.
Hey, you doing good?
Thank you.
Okay, Lawrence, you ready now?
Ready
Yes,
now,
I am.
Lawrence? You ready? You sure?
There you go,
Okay.
Lewis Mark. There's the group.
Wednesday night with those guys are sponsored by
Those
guys. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
And those
Happy
girls.
St. Patty's Day. And those
St.
girls.
Patrick's Day.
And those girls.
And those girls.
Listen,
I don't have my drink. I'm sorry. I forgot
that's
my whiskey.
okay. That's all right.
That's all right.
That's all right. I'll have another one for you.
Yo, we
Thank
know.
you.
gotta
I was
remember,
so
Angela,
mad.
When you're with us, you better carry a flask with you. That's all I'm saying.
Man,
Okay?
I'm always drinking at 5 o'clock happy hour every time, every day.
Mm-mm.
Listen,
And I
In
forgot it.
fact,
I
they
like-
don't start their show till 5 o'clock. You see the reasoning behind that? Okay,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Happy hour.
hour's right there.
Mhm.
that's right.
And
That's
if you
right.
Right there,
live
right
in-
around,
if you live in
right
a
around the
city-
corner.
and if you live in a city, happy hour in some bars starts at 3 p.m.
So D,
Yes.
Yeah.
where are you looking to travel to next?
Okay. Hold on a second. Deneen, you got to
Hold
mute.
on, you got an echo. Somebody's
Deneen, you
Who's
just opened
echoing
up the
there?
Chat, right? You got to mute it.
Someone's echoing here. Hold on.
It's Deneen. I think she has.
Yeah, I
there
was
we
trying to
go.
open up YouTube.
All
Sorry.
right. Good. You got it.
oh no problem.
Now type something in the chat. Deneen.
Yes, type in the chat.
So D, where are you looking to travel to next? If you could travel anywhere with the drone, where would it be?
Oh man, my two spots I want to go to is Bora Bora. That's one.
Right?
Mykonos.
Exotic.
Oh
I'm
yeah, huh?
I'm going to Puerto
Get
Rico
those white and
next month.
blues.
And yeah, that's where it's at right now that I would love to go to.
What about you?
So-
Angie?
Reach out before Angela answers. Hold
Sorry.
on. Before Angela
Go ahead.
answers, D, reach out to Eddie Nunez. Okay,
Uh-huh.
try to get some good spots from him in Puerto Rico because
Puerto
Eddie's
Rico,
flown in
right?
Puerto Rico. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's flown in Puerto Rico. So that's
That's
the
too
other
cool.
nice thing, Angela, to keep in mind is ask these groups, hey, I'm going here, I'm going there. Where would you fly, or where have you
Just
flown?
about
So Angela,
captured
where are you
Puerto
looking
Rico
to
on
fly
video.
where you haven't flown before?
There's so many choices, but I think I'm going to stay local, and I would love to fly along and get some of the Highway 101, and then I'd love to go to Iceland too as well, and get the
Okay.
textures over there of the landscape.
Okay.
Iceland's
had me
definitely
until
a
you
bucket
said
list item,
Iceland.
right?
That's my dream.
Yeah.
Iceland. I know it's cold, but it's pretty. A dream place.
So D, did you get any did you run out there like our good buddy there from Invincible Storm the second the first snowflakes dropped? Were you running out there D to shoot?
Not as much as I would like to because I don't know, I'm pretty sure you guys know I'm a superintendent.
Invincible.
So I
Here's
was
the
busy
link.
working. However,
Uh-oh.
don't sleep on, I was shoveling. I had to shovel, so I was too tired. But
Right.
I did get some shots, which I haven't posted yet, of with the Mini 2 down in
Yeah.
this Brooklyn area. And
Yeah.
it was actually in the snow while it was coming down. That Mini 2 did pretty good.
Hey,
I
Invincible.
Yeah, huh?
sleep
Put
on
the
that
link.
little thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
beast, right?
Yeah, it did pretty good.
Yeah,
I got
that's a
some
cool
big
little
shots.
drone.
I was always in the principal's office. Saying I was always in the principal's office. Back in the day. Troublemaker.
Oh, see.
You're a
Well, you
troublemaker.
made it through. You're doing okay.
Yeah.
You're doing all right. You're a drone pilot now. You're excused.
Now I'm in more trouble with the drone. Flying in places probably shouldn't be flying,
So I get that sometimes.
Well, I
The
think
views and
everybody
opinions
has
heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel or in the chat.
I think everyone has done that until you learn.
I have to give that disclaimer every now and then. It keeps us from getting in trouble.
He's
Yeah.
afraid of what I'm
There
he
you go. Deneen
basically
just
he's
posted her
afraid of what I'm gonna
Instagram
say
right there.
next.
If you
Okay.
want to see some really, really beautiful pictures, check out our Instagram, which means, Angie, you're going to need an Instagram too with your macro photography. I would highly suggest it. Definitely.
I do one with my hiking photos. and I
Okay, you can still put.
whenever
you
I go
can
out
put the- you
traveling,
can
I
still
post
put
my
the
stuff
link.
up.
And you have a,
Still put the link in the
website
chat.
you were working on too,
I
right?
can't.
Angela,
Hold up. What's that?
you
Yeah,
had a
I'm trying to get a
website you were
website
working on.
together to keep yeah, trying to get a website together to keep everything organized, sort of. And if people want to buy the
Right.
footage, I want it to have where they can click on a video and those seconds are for sale, kind of thing. And they can
Okay.
click on whatever they want if they like it. That's the
Okay.
route I'm trying
So
to go.
have you thought about GettyWorks, or have you thought about some of the sites? We have Audley in, the chat. Audley sells a lot of stuff through GettyWorks. I've
Yes,
been
digital
selling things
kite,
over
yes.
decades.
Mhm.
Decades. I've been getting. In fact, I occasionally get royalty checks for some of the stuff that gets reused and
Oh,
all.
wow.
So there is
I have-
opportunities out there to get your shots out there.
Just sell your stock work.
Oh yeah. And I actually have a Dreamstime account. I haven't sold any footage on either one yet, but I've sold more photos than I have
Okay,
footage.
I have her Instagram name right there. There we go in the chat. Lost
So
Girl
just a
is one
couple of
word.
hints. A couple of
Thanks.
hints on that is you gotta think about some of the stuff you're shooting, and
Mhm.
you also have to give it some thought on the length of your clips. Okay. Normally the buyer up on these sites they're not looking for minutes and minutes worth of video.
Right.
They're looking for B-roll for 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10
Here we go,
seconds,
Angie. I found your
or
page.
some background
Oh.
that will run 15 to 30 seconds, commercial length stuff.
There's
So
Angie's Instagram, right?
you got to think about packaging your stuff that way. And you'd be surprised, that first sale might take a little bit of time, but you still have to get a little more traction over time.
Yeah. It's better to
So
sit
there
up there
are
than on the computer
opportunities
too.
out there. Yeah,
You know?
exactly. It's just like, but the other thing to realize is, especially with your website, is only put up your very, very, very best stuff. Okay. I
Mhm.
know D, you had a little trouble going, hey, I don't know which shots to give you, so I'm going to give you a bunch of them.
Yeah.
You gotta really be critical about your own stuff.
But they're all
And the other
good
thing is,
for Deneen.
well, the problem I always run into is, I'm going to go through my images, and when I first started with Lightroom, I would give things 3 stars, 2 stars. This is a 4-star. That's a 5-star. Only to come to realize that it's not like wine. Those images don't get better with age. Okay.
True.
So
True.
I go through now, and my philosophy is it's a pick or it's not.
Mhm.
And if it's not a pick, I purge it off the hard drive.
That's what I do,
Okay.
Tom.
These things are hard drive killers.
Herman gets
right?
at me about it, Tom. I go to look for, or I'm looking for footage. I'm like, oh, I got rid of that. Because at the
Well,
time,
I'm
it
not
wasn't
saying to go,
sufficient.
okay.
I have
So
I have
Herman
a border
again,
issue.
Lawrence crosses the line, right? He gets rid of even the good stuff. Okay. No, I'm saying save the good stuff, get rid of everything else. But yeah, going through and being critical with your images, when you go up to the photo sharing sites, yeah, you can put a lot of the same image just shot from a different angle, because they might be looking for that. But when
Right.
you go up on your website and you post your portfolio, you got to be like super critical, because people are going to look once and move on. You want that hook that grabs them in and then has them coming back to you.
That's what I'm struggling with too,
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
really hard on myself too with what I do and trying to come up with
That's
something.
often
And
my problem, Angie. I'm
Mhm.
really hard on myself with certain pictures and videos.
can't be happy.
And here's a tip that someone taught me when I started learning how to fly camera drones, and it is when you say, okay, I got the shot, try to add 10 seconds more, because the extra 10 seconds will make that much more of a difference. That's something that if you're taking pictures, take another 10 more pictures. And what the guy told me, it made a lot of sense, because I was always, okay, I got the shot. Now what do I do? And I'm off to somewhere.
Yeah, right.
You've seen videos like that, but that extra 10 seconds gives you a chance to say, okay, I've been here long enough. I'm pretty sure I have something substantial. And it works
Yeah.
as far as taking pictures too. take those
So,
You know, it's funny. Ron,
So that's a good
Anthony
point.
Charles that was the one that got me to continue to share, you know, stuff that I was doing, you know, pictures and stuff, because I was in one of these drone groups we tell everybody to join, and there was some guys that were really critical, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to figure my way through it. I didn't even know you and Ray at the time, nor Tom. And these guys were just on me, riding me every week, and I post a picture or video, and it was just stuff for the, you know, to put in the group.
Yeah, yeah.
And these dudes used to ride me, and one day Anthony Charles had said something about
Okay, Angie.
any pictures of my city, is good pictures. And I said thank you to him, and one of the guys said something about it, and I said,
How you doing?
you know, the mere fact that you even had something to say, and I was talking to someone else, so you know how you get down.
Good. Thank you.
And these guys bumped me out their group, but I kept going, and you know, I met a lot of good
Listen,
people.
guys, Angie's cell phone is about to die
got-
out.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so
I got
we're gonna
charged
say
now.
goodbye to Angie.
Angie, thank you.
Bye, Angie.
Thank you
Thanks.
for coming.
Hey, thank you guys
Angie,
so
you
much.
know you're more
Thank
than
you.
welcome. You can come in and
Anytime.
chat anytime. And you know, I want to get on. It doesn't matter. You're one of those gals. I won't say
Aw.
gals, one of those gals. Okay.
Anytime
Thank you,
come
guys.
through, just, you know.
It's always good to listen to all
Hey,
of you.
Deneen, Cheater Smith, I
Appreciate it.
is looking for the
Thank you.
check tonight when you're done, because he said, "Can I get your autograph?"
Deneen, did you
That's
type
some
something
starting
in the
work, you
chat?
guys.
That what?
Did you type
That's some
something in the
stuff.
chat?
Thanks,
I tried
Angie.
earlier.
We appreciate you all at all the
That's
time.
where we got the echo, remember?
Yeah, well, all she had to do was mute
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Once
I-
you mute
yeah.
the live
But-
stream, you don't pay any attention to the live stream, Deneen, because there's usually a 4 to 7 second delay, and it will confuse.
Yeah.
You just needed to type
Yeah,
in
it'll confuse the heck out of you.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
can watch the chat, but keep in mind the chat also has that little bit of a delay. Like
Slight delay on the chat.
1, 2, 3, and
Yeah,
I won't
I
see
see
it
it.
until 1, 1000,
It's moving
2,
around. I'm
1000,
not.
3, 1000.
Okay, you can
Or-
see the chat. Now type
It's a
something
7
in the
second
chat.
delay.
Just say
Yes.
hello in the chat.
Yes.
Because he wants to
Oh,
make you a
God.
mod.
Yes, so he can mod you. Yes.
Uh-oh.
He
yes.
wants to make you a moderator. That's the problem.
Uh-oh. That might be danger.
Uh-oh.
The woman in charge, you know.
Yeah,
Take care.
Angie, make
That's,
sure
Take
that's,
care.
make
and there's
sure you
nothing
get a
wrong with that.
chance to come back.
All right, Angie.
Thanks
I
again,
will
guys.
see you.
All
Take
right.
care.
You're welcome.
Take
Anytime.
care.
Angie.
Take care.
Take care, Angie.
Thanks. Thank you.
Be safe out there in those woods.
Oh, yeah, promise
Yes,
nothing.
please. Air spray.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, this is Angie's page again. I mean,
There
it's
you
all
go.
about sharing and
You're up there, D. Good.
learning. Here is Dee's page as well. Okay, if you haven't supported the YouTube, and the reason I'm
Okay,
posting
I
it
see you
is
now.
because this way now you'll be forced to put up more material.
That's right. Now you're gonna
You
have
hear
people
that, Deneen?
clamoring. Where's your?
What?
You got to put
All
up
right,
more
The
stuff.
reason I'm putting your YouTube mean
On my
Now you're
YouTube?
moderator.
then you'll be forced to put up more material. And
You're gonna
stop
get a
holding
bunch
it
of
out.
Yeah,
subscribers
I
just
gotta
from
learn
this
the
chat.
software.
Nobody's gonna see it unless you
Yeah.
put it out there.
So D, what are you using? What is your post production
I
studio look
honestly,
like?
I
What are you
haven't
using?
gotten. I just finally got a new laptop that can handle, the stuff that I'm doing. So now it's just a matter
Right.
of learning these softwares that I need to, like Filmora or something like that.
Yeah.
Go
Lawrence,
with
you mentioned-
Filmora.
Huh?
Stick with Premiere.
Go with
Premiere.
Filmora.
Stick Premiere. Stick with Premiere.
Yeah.
So look, your software choices are going to be personal. One strategy to deal with, especially with the high resolution and video, is using proxies. Okay, and basically what it's doing is it's taking your original shots and then encoding them in a lower resolution. So you're actually editing in that lower resolution. Then when you go to render out, it grabs the original shots and that's what it uses. So this way you don't have all that stuttering
You
and
see what
when you're trying to
Anthony
edit.
Charles put?
But
Deneen, we need.
you know, look,
You see what Anthony Charles put? We need to see more work on YouTube as well. Get it out there, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
See,
Nobody can. It's like Deneen. Right now, you're the hot rapper on the block, and you're only playing your shit in the car. Put your shit on YouTube, yo.
I know. I know.
It
Anthony's
is.
been helping me though. He's been helping me a
Good.
lot with
Okay,
learning
okay.
how to
master.
do,
Because we're
certain
gonna
things,
keep pushing you. We're gonna
so
push
yeah,
you.
I got to learn the software, and once I do that, then
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just I've been so busy with work and stuff. That's
There
why.
you go. Get that
And
money.
life always gets in the way, right, D?
Yeah.
Always
Listen,
gets in the way.
listen, Deneen. That's that time, that quiet
COVID didn't
time.
slow me down.
Whenever you get that quiet time, Deneen, whether it be in the morning or the afternoon, that's when you get on the computer and say, let me do a little something. I know some people who, now check this out, some people who use Adobe Premiere and it takes them a week to do a video. I use Filmora and my shit is up in 2 hours.
That's when you got slow computers. That's when you got slow computers.
I've been
Don't
using,
be right.
Charles had put me on to Keymaster for the cell phone. And
Yeah.
I got spoiled with that because it was so easy, to do it that way. So now
It's
I
like
gotta get-
Filmora. It's the same as Filmora. And I'm going to push Filmora 10 only because unless you have experience, I really don't suggest Premiere unless you got the time to learn it.
Yeah. And what about DaVinci?
So
You
D,
need the time to learn
Da
Adobe.
Vinci's
DaVinci's
even
good,
harder.
but you got-
That's even harder.
you got to learn it.
Really?
But D, let me
It's
ask
even
you a
harder.
question. When you go when you're shooting video, are you shooting video continuous and then you clip your stuff up, or you're
No.
taking a little video here, stopping here, a little
I-
video here, stopping
yeah.
here?
Mhm.
Yeah, because I fear that I'm just gonna run out of space with all the stuff that I shoot. So I just end up, I'll record a little bit, stop, take some pictures, record, stop, take pictures like that. and then put it
Also-
So
together.
what size card? What size card you using?
I usually use the 128.
Okay.
128. You
also,
really
how are
shouldn't have a problem. I mean,
Also,
You'd be
D, how are you?
surprised how much-
How are you storing your data?
Especially if you're doing 4K. Huh?
How are you
Yeah.
storing your data? Because that's important. If you're like Herman and have books of SD cards, that's okay. But no,
I
no,
do.
I'm not saying it to be
But
funny.
you don't
but
lose no.
Herman
You
has
don't lose
video-
no data.
Herman has books of SD cards, and I've actually learned from him. But
I have-
the best, what the point I'm getting at, D, is get
And he-
yourself a
and
good
he's got
8 gig external.
External hard drives.
To it.
I do. I have a few of them. Let me show you guys. I have a few. I have like this one I travel with. You guys know this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a couple of other ones that are like 5 terabyte
Hey,
and
Jeff,
less,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
cards, a lot of cards.
Just remember, D, when
Yeah.
you're shooting those 4K videos, you want to make sure you have an SSD hard drive because those other mechanical hard drives are going to be running slow on you. They're going to be wasting
Yeah.
your time. So
Yeah.
well, that's
I
key.
do.
Well, also the thing is to have one other bit of advice is you need to have a system drive, and you don't save data on a system drive. You have your operating system, you have your applications, and you eke out on a separate drive where you have your storage, eke out a couple of gigs as scratch space. Now, in preferences for Premiere, okay, you're going to have where you can put where that scratch space is. And the scratch space is important is because that's what keeps things flowing as you're editing. Okay. And when you get that stuttering, it's because you're trying to actually edit 4K video in full resolution. So
yeah,
definitely downsample that, work at a quarter of the resolution. You can usually do that directly. Or with Premiere, like I said, you ingest your imagery through Media Encoder, which is part of that suite of products, and it down reses this separate set called the Proxies, right? So more information. I mean, you're a sponge. You can get all this up on YouTube. But
like Lawrence said, Filmora is a lot more simpler. You have probably more better time with that.
Filmora is
you know,
simpler.
So you don't
There's-
stress yourself out.
There's a
That's
couple
the first,
of
like your first drone, you step
Yeah.
up afterwards. You
yeah,
get used to it.
absolutely.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
your first, and there is pay for software that's relatively inexpensive too. One product that comes to mind that's pretty easy to work with is Pinnacle. Okay, Corel makes Pinnacle.
Yeah,
Now for $90 you get you're licensed, right? You're not paying a subscription. It's pretty extensive product. It's I would say it's a middle of the road kind of thing. Plenty of transitions. Even has a score fitter. But
How's the
most
audio on
are-
it, though?
Yeah, it's got an new audio engine in it in the latest version. I always look at it because, years ago I started playing with Pinnacle, so I always look at it.
started on Pinnacle.
I'm in
Tom.
Adobe. I work in Premiere and After Effects. And
Tom, 20 years ago, I started with Pinnacle.
Oh,
Pinnacle 5.
and I have one other tip for you people that are out there that wind up paying for the full subscription. Okay. Now, if you're a photographer, if you don't know it, you can get Photoshop and Lightroom at $9.95 a month.
It's called CC. It's the mobile application and everything. Yeah.
It comes with the mobile app. Now, if you want the full blown out suite, comes with everything, soup to nuts, from Illustrator, okay, all the way to Premiere, Media Coda, After Effects, everything, soup to nuts.
They have it.
That will run you $54 a month. Half that price if you are a student. But here's the other thing you can do. If you have a current subscription, contact Adobe and tell them you're going to cancel your subscription because it's too expensive. And what Adobe will do is Adobe will drop your price in half for the next 12 months.
Okay. And then it balloons back up.
And then it goes back up until you complain again. Okay. So look, Adobe does not want to sell full product anymore because they've been pirated beyond belief, right? What was the number one product pirated? Was always Photoshop, right? But the other thing is when you buy a piece of software, it was one of the number one pieces of software that was pirated. Now, one of the things that the benefit of subscription-based software, or what we call SaaS, software as a subscription, as a service, is that you're getting those incremental upgrades constantly instead of having to wait 12 to 18 months for the next upgrade. Okay. This way, all the bug fixes are constant. Okay. And then, so Anthony did the same thing, call, complain, and they dropped the price in half. Absolutely, man. Keep a couple more bucks in your product, especially if you bought the DJI FPV drone, because you need to buy more batteries, damn it.
I'm gonna try that one time.
I just ordered 2 more freaking batteries. Where's Stevie out there? Stevie, you order your extra batteries yet? So I'm still waiting for Anthony to get his DJI FPV drone, but that should be another. You should invite Anthony on just to have that conversation on the panel.
Tom,
okay?
Tom, I have video footage of Invincible Storm, Anthony Charles, we know him, as saying, I will never fly FPV again. I like it, but I'll never fly it. So the day that he goes out and buys something FPV, you can swear, I can swear on it, I will bring that video up.
So you say, got the blue
we got you. We got you.
There you go. Well, guys, I have to go because it's getting late here. It's already past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here, so I gotta go, man.
Tom,
I gotta catch some sunsets.
You don't see me looking over the shoulder.
Get out of here now. It is that time. It is 7. And Deneen, I thank you for being on with us tonight.
Yes, and we want to see you on YouTube a little more. Hint, hint.
Well, you guys inspired me. I'm gonna try a little harder.
No, don't try. Do.
There you go.
I got you.
Okay. Yes, once again, Deneen, thank you for being on tonight. Telling your story. Guys know where you're coming from. So, guys, you guys in the chat, make sure you check out our channel, support our channel, check out her work, check out her Instagram. Make sure you check it out because she's doing big things. And
here's the channel right
inspire
here.
The women.
Inspire
the women around you.
Don't forget Angie either. There are not a whole lot of women in FPV that we know personally.
Right, guys.
Make sure you check out both of their channels.
There's Deneen's channel on top and Angie's on bottom.
Show them some love. Make sure you check out the videos, hit the like button, all that good stuff.
And inspire women to join this community because there are friends, our spouses, our daughters, our granddaughters, and man, we got to share this passion.
Can I say one thing, Deneen?
Yes.
I want you to take that breeze back there behind you. You remember back in the 70s and 80s when they used to bronze the baby shoes?
Yeah.
That's what you should do with that
I
chick.
have that. I have those shoes. I got those shoes.
I don't even know where to find them.
Have that
I
breeze,
don't know.
have that breeze empty the shell out and have it bronzed.
I was
I'm
actually
telling you.
thinking of giving it to my godson, have him
There you
something to
go.
play with,
And
then
get
start
him
with.
into it, right?
But you know what? It's funny. He started with a Mavic before me.
So he ain't
He
downgrading.
flew my Mavic Pro.
He's not downgrading.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
you have to upgrade so
I
he
know.
can.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Great.
Okay,
Roger
guys.
went live. So yeah, guys, hey, check this out. Thank you guys on the panel for hanging out tonight. And
Thank you.
once again, thank you. You guys in the chat, thank you
Thank
for
you, guys.
coming and listening to our stories tonight.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you for coming and hanging out and supporting these ladies tonight. Thank you very much.
Looking forward to our next
Without
meet.
you guys, none of this would
Absolutely.
be possible. And I'll see you next time on Phantom Flight
All right.
101 with those guys and them.